figured out your captain situation?
No, we're voting on him Friday. Okay. Yeah, voting on him Friday. We'll announce it probably Sunday after practice.
How many captains do you like to have?
You know, it really depends. You know, we've had as many as 5 and as few as 2. Just really, what we do is we let the players vote and then just see the number of votes and, you know, which guys are strong. You know, and if there's 2 that are ahead of everybody else, we'll have 2. If there's 3, if there's 5, we'll have 5.
So you're looking for that clear vote break.
Yeah, that's kind of what we're looking for.
Do you like? Sorry.
Borreo. Saw him.
Yeah, just was a little. I think he was a little sick, a little dehydrated. He'll be fine. He was battling a little something yesterday, and just wasn't feeling great. So we took him out.
You guys in pretty good shape right now.
Yeah, really good shape.
His health.
Yeah, very good.
You're gonna have most of your guys, right?
About as good a camp and as healthy a camp as we've ever had. Certainly, that really probably I've ever seen.
You've had a few lingering guys who from
old
injuries.
Yeah, some old injuries that are that we knew would take some time.
Right.
That we anticipated. I mean, of all those guys, they're kind of right on track except Steph McClure, who's way ahead of schedule. Steph's probably a month ahead of schedule.
Tartable, Pyatt, they're kind of it takes more time.
Yeah. We knew Tartable would for sure. Pyatt's did quite a bit yesterday and didn't have any soreness today. It's a revision. And so we just want to make sure he gets brought along slow.
A few weeks away from playing, though, probably, right?
I would think so. Yeah, we'll see. I would think so. But he's going to do more tomorrow, a little bit more on Sunday, and we'll see how he progresses.
Now, when you say revision, they replaced the ACL. Something went wrong.
Yeah, 2 ACL surgeries. Yeah,
okay, so two in one shot in the same year.
No, well, he had one I think in high school. And then he had one when he was here. No, he had one when he first got here and then had another one when he was here.
Okay.
Which ACL is it?
I think it's his right. Is that right?
Well, I have to go look at my notes.
I don't know. I think it's his right.
It's written somewhere.
We had a lot of ACLs. So it's hard to keep them all straight. The good thing is it's either the right one or the left one.
It's one or the other.
Is this the healthiest fall camp you think you've had?
Without a doubt. Yeah. It's just
preseason.
Without a doubt. Yeah, it's the healthiest I've ever seen, ever been a part of. I mean, which is a lot different than what we've had. I mean, we had 2 years of a mash unit out here, and so it's, you know how it is. It's a weird thing. Injuries are 2-year deals. You have a 2-year cycle. I don't know why. It's the way it works. It seems like guys are, you have a bunch of injuries for 2 years and then you stay healthy for 2 years, and it just seems to be the cycle. And the great thing about our deal is we keep getting bigger and stronger and more athletic and learning how to practice together. And, our strength and conditioning program, I think, is as good as there is. And I think it's paid off for us.
Borreo being sick, that allow you to kind of get that was certainly the most different look we've seen on the
interior. We're just working all the possibilities. Again, trying to find out who we think can play and then working them in, where it looks like we're going to maybe have this rotation for a game. And so, in other words, if we think Aaron Cochran's going to play, we'll stick him in there with the first group and let him play with the first group some. And Samisi, and just kind of roll with those guys the way it is and get them in there with them and get them used to each other.
How much would you like to ideally rotate there?
You'd like for your it just depends on how the games go, but you'd like for your starters to play 80% of the snaps and the other guys to play 20%. Would probably be a perfect situation. Doesn't normally happen that way, but that's kind of the perfect role.
Jared's about to break a bunch of records by some of the big name quarterbacks that have been here.
Yeah.
Roth and
I didn't know that. Yeah.
But do you think for him is he much more concerned about achieving the things as a team that those guys did?
Yeah, I would doubt he would know about it. I didn't know about it, so I don't think he would. I think his deal is really, honestly, just, he loves playing football at Cal and loves being a student at Cal, loves his teammates and wants to win. And I think all the other stuff is really completely irrelevant.
But to be compared with the great quarterbacks of the year, you got to win, right?
No, yeah, you do. I agree with that. I mean, I think that's, statistics are, in a lot of ways for losers, and I think that, he wants to win, and we want this program to become a championship program. he's going to be a big part of that. If we get to that point, he's going to be obviously a huge part of it, and that's what he's concerned with. I mean, the other stuff he doesn't really care much about.
Of the young defensive backs, who's kind of impressing you right now?
Well, they all have at times. It kind of started out with Evan Rambo being the guy, and then I think Trey Turner kind of started showing up a lot. So both of those guys have been very impressive. Malik Psalms has had some good moments. Jalen Hawkins is somebody who, when he's healthy, we think can be a significant contributor. We just got to get him back healthy. He's certainly shown it in the limited amount of reps he's gotten, that he is mature and very athletic and exactly what he thought he was going to be. It's been unfortunate that he banged his shoulder a little bit and hadn't gotten as many reps probably as he needs to get ready to play. So we're trying to expedite him and get him ready as quickly as we can and figure out a role for him, because we think he's got a chance to be a good player.
Is he healthy at this point?
Yeah, he's practicing right now. He's not going live yet. I think he'll do a little bit tomorrow, and then I think the goal is to get him back full practice on Sunday.
Is the plan still to have all 5 freshmen DBs play this week?
As of right now, I think so. Yeah, I think that's the plan. I mean, they're all going to have significant roles on special teams. And again, depending on who stays healthy and who doesn't, and how all that stuff plays out. But as of right now, I would assume they'd all play.
How have the 2 GC DBs come along?
Good. Yeah, they've been great. I mean, Kahari Vanderbilt's been really good. He's kind of what we thought he was. He's long, he's athletic, he's still learning, still improving, getting better. But he's what we thought he was. And Antoine's been good as well. Antoine hit a little bit of a lull there. He lost his legs a little bit, and he started getting back, and he's getting better.
What about Duran?
Duran's, we saw what he could do in the spring, and he's really improved. He came out of spring football, got his feet wet, and I think he has picked up from where he left off in the spring. He's improving, and I expect him to be a huge contributor on teams and get in the rotation in the battle for really one of those starting safety positions.
Have you figured out the dime situation yet?
Still working through it, and we'll continue to do so. It's going to be a good combination of 4 guys. Again, the good thing is we feel like we've got pretty good depth at that nickel and dime spot. Again, some things that we haven't had. We haven't really had an opportunity to run any dime last year at all, just with a limited number of DBs. And so we feel like we've got 3 or 4 good candidates for those 2 spots.
Do you know who your 3rd corner is?
Not quite sure yet. I think today it would probably be Antoine Albert. But we'll see how it plays out.
That's still sort of there's a lot of moving parts in that secondary.
Yeah. There's still some guys that got to come together, but honestly, they're in a good spot right now. They just need to play football. That's the difference with those guys is a lot of them haven't played, for us, and so or they haven't played that much, and we got to get them in the games and let them play, because that's really the last step. I mean, they've performed well in scrimmages, and there's always unknowns until you see him line up on Saturday and play well.
What impresses you right now about Albert?
Well, he's a long, physical guy. I mean, and he's a great competitor. He's I think those are the things that stand out. I mean, he's still learning, but he's one of those guys, when he gets his hands on you, he can be tough. And his footwork is improving, and the ability to see things. He's got good instincts as well, and so he's I think he's a guy that's got a lot of upside.
Coach Tate talked about how the increased pass rush is allowing the defensive ends to play in a little tighter and close up the passing lanes. Is that allowing you to play dime more often now?
It helps. Yeah, all those things kind of go hand in hand. I mean, the dime stuff will depend on kind of what kind of coverage we're in and how much we're going to play man and what we're going to do on the back end and all that type of stuff. So a lot of that will vary from week to week and who we're going to play, how much we're in nickel and how much we're in dime, and how much 10 personnel we're going to see, and what do they do and how are our matchups in 10 personnel, and just all those things. So it kind of starts with there, kind of a game plan decision based on week to week and what we're going to see, and then and then when we can cover on the back end, again, the quarterback's got to hold the ball longer, and so we're able to tighten up our coverage a little bit this year, playing more aggressive on the back end, which is going to result in the guy holding the ball longer. The quarterbacks hold the ball longer, and when that happens, you get more sacks. And then, when you get more pressure, all of a sudden balls start coming out earlier, and DBs can break on them, and it just all that stuff goes hand in hand. as you said, you can tighten up your rush angles, and when you do that, you have an opportunity to bat more balls down, get in throwing lanes more, and again, all that stuff plays off of each other.
What have you seen with ground length tape?
You know, good football team, won 7 games last year. You know, a little bit, you know, complicated up front in terms of their defense and what they do in their front. I mean, they blitz a lot, they move their line a lot. You know, they base out of an odd front, and you know, it's kind of a pain, you know, just because you're going to see a lot of different looks. And then their primary deal, they're going to play a lot of 5 across on the back end and play man, play cover 0, play man free, play cover 2, Tampa 2, a little bit of cover 3. I mean, they're just going to roll their secondary quite a bit and show you a lot of different looks. You know, we're going to have to make a lot of competitive plays on the football, and that's going to be big for us. And so, you know, again, we got a pretty good game plan coming in, and you know, our guys are excited about playing, and you know, they'll be a good football team.
They play spread on offense.
Yeah, they look kind of similar to what we do in some ways. They're you know, play with a little different personnel from time to time as well.
You got some pretty good wideouts, right?
They do. They got good speed, and guys can run, and just like they're going to run. They're going to run well on defense as well.
How did everything come together under Carter joining you guys?
Well, he asked last year if he could come around and hang around a little bit, and came the week we played USC, and you know, just wanted to be around football a little bit, just I think maybe to see if he was interested in getting back in coaching, and you know, it developed a little bit more over the summer, and you know, we're excited to have him back. I mean, he's you know, obviously he was a great player here. You know, I think the thing that's good for us is, you know, he's a great role model for our players. I mean, you know, the guys can see just what kind of person he is and what kind of work ethic he has, and you know, and he's going to make us better. So we're excited he's out here. He's a great guy. Loves this university. Really cares about Cal and the football program. And, you know, it means something to him. Obviously, I mean, I think he's probably financially secure, I'm guessing, and you know, he probably doesn't need to get his degree, but it means something to him to come back and get his degree and finish. And again, I think it's a great role model for our players.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thanks.